Love pushes you.
Okay, welcome to A Course of Love. In case some of you today have been dealing with a course of upset, or a course of anger, or a course of hate, or a course of fear, we're going to try to do a little course of love this evening that we know we don't have to believe, we know we don't have to accept, but let's dig into it. I'm going to be on page 175, and we're going to be completing oneness and duality. And paragraph 19-20, and paragraph 19-20 says, my brothers and sisters in Christ, don't become impatient now. We are on the home stretch, and all you long for is nearer than ever before. Everything you've ever wanted is closer than ever before. Everything that you want is closer than ever before. Whatever you want, the thing that you want is closer than ever before.
Yes.
Take a breath and let it land. What you want is closer than ever before. And what you want is peace.
Right.
That car might not be closer than ever before. That house may not be closer than ever before. That special relationship may, because those are not really things you need. Ultimately, what you need is, and I need, is peace and a connection to source. So the peace that we are looking for is closer than ever before. It's right here. It's right on the other side of another way of looking at it. Then it says, to talk of going back will undoubtedly make you feel impatient, because we're being told we're going back to the love that we are. But this is not a going back that will in any way resembles the going back that you tried before. Thank goodness. Says, while it is in a sense a request to review your life, it is the last such review that will be required. You're about to do your last review. The last review that will be required. The last review that will be required. Before letting the past go completely. All your previous attempts to go back have been like attempts to pay a debt that will never go away. This going back will leave you debt-free. This going back will leave you debt-free and thus free in truth. This going back is the journey without distance. You need not go in search of it, and in truth, you cannot go in search of it, for the past does not abide in you. The past doesn't live 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 in you. Your past doesn't live in you. Your past doesn't live in you. You cannot not let go of what's already gone. So we got to succeed in letting go of the past because it's already gone. So you guarantee success in letting go of the past. Guaranteed. Because it's already gone anyway. What you need rather do is to strive for a place of stillness from which what needs review can arise as if it were a reflection arising from a deep pool. What does that mean? It means here what is in need of healing will but briefly come to the surface and leave the hidden depths where light could not reach it and healing could not come. What comes forth for healing needs but a nod of love from your heart, a passing glance of compassion, the merest frown of reflection, the merest moment of reflection before it will dissipate and show a new reflection. Okay, so the review will be all the hidden places in you where you have held grievances, fear, insecurity, anything that's not true. It's going to come up to the surface so that you can finally look at it from the place of consciousness that you are now.
Wow.
It's going to come up so that you can look at it with love, look at it with compassion, look at it with God, look at it with peace. So when you have your stuff come up, when your stuff comes up, it's not about analyzing your stuff anymore. It's not about analyzing your stuff anymore. It's not about analyzing your stuff anymore. When it comes up, it's coming up so that you can do this to it. Nod. Oh, here's my jealousy. Here's my anger. Here's my financial situation and my beliefs about prosperity and abundance. A nod. Did it say a nod?
Yeah.
A nod of love from your heart, a passing glance of compassion, the merest moment of reflection before it will dissipate and then show a new reflection. So your stuff is going to come up, you look at it with love, you have some compassion for your stuff, and then it dissipates. I wish I could make it more complex than that. Because that's not complex enough for us. I'll say it again. You've been doing spiritual work. The spiritual work is giving you a brand new perception, a brand new way of looking at things. Do you know that you're supposed to use that? Everybody clear you're supposed to use the new stuff that we've been learning?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what she
so because you are now on this level of consciousness, then the things that you have hidden from yourself, your ego thoughts, your fear, your anger, anything that's your shadow self, anything that you fear, that you've been holding on to, that it's time to have dissipated, it will begin to come up just so you can look at it with love and look at it with compassion. Have compassion for yourself, nod and go, wow. And then it will dissipate. And then something else will come up to be released. That's the process. The process is not, oh, let me analyze this feeling that's coming up and see how it relates to my childhood. What I do is go, compassion. That's my call for love. That was my misperception. That's where I didn't know love was real. And then it says, then the next thing will come up to be released. This going back is in reality more in a way of reflection than review. Although you were to think of this as a reviewing of yourself, you would be quite accurate. This is a reviewing of yourself. It is like until the final judgment, as it has been described, a sorting of the real from the unreal, of truth from illusion. So when the fearful stuff comes up, I'm supposed to say, by the very nature of this being something that doesn't give me peace, this could not be the truth. This could not be something coming to me from God. This could not be something coming to me from the truth. Oh, I'm feeling love, I'm feeling peace, I'm feeling compassion over here. Then this is something that's coming to me from love. So the last judgment isn't a judgment of good and bad. The last judgment is a judgment of what's real and what's not. The last judgment is not a judgment about what you're doing is good or what you're doing is bad. What is the last judgment?
Whether it's real or not.
Whether it's real or not, whether it reflects the truth or whether it reflects the illusion. Despite the similarity between what this will call forth and the description of the final judgment, judgment is not the means or the end of this reckoning. Now we're about to hear the loftiest goal, the highest goal that we can have in the body. And the Course of Love says the loftiest aim of which you are currently capable is that of changing your perception. The highest thing that you can do is change your way of looking at things. That's the highest level of consciousness we can be on. It's the level of consciousness where we will change the way we're looking at things. So the highest level of consciousness is what?
Changing the way we look at things.
Being willing to change the way that we look at things. So one of the things that's very important in terms of letting yourself receive and continue to receive is to, first of all, you got to acknowledge that you are receiving. So you have been receiving, I have been receiving, we have been receiving the truth, we have been receiving wonderful, beautiful things in our lives. Maybe we have not been willing to acknowledge it, but first we have to acknowledge that we are receiving. Then you have to acknowledge you are the cause of your receiving. So it's important to acknowledge that you are the reason why you're receiving this. You are the reason why you are receiving any love that you are receiving. You are the reason why you are receiving any peace that you are receiving. And you're receiving it because of your willingness to accept, and you're receiving it because of your willingness to receive. So acknowledge that you are receiving, and that you are receiving because you're willing, and that's why you've been receiving. To continue the receiving, acknowledge that you are the cause of your receiving.
Wow.
You are the cause of your receiving because you are willing to receive. So if you want to continue your receiving, right now in your mind, acknowledge that you are the cause of your receiving because you are willing to receive. So whatever it is you're receiving, especially the stuff that you're receiving that you really are glad you're receiving, acknowledge right now that you are receiving that because you are willing to accept it. Be with that for a minute, because we have a tendency to deflect and not give ourselves credit a lot of times for the beautiful, wonderful things that we're creating for ourselves. So I'm saying take a moment and tell yourself, it can be but my gratitude I earn. That you've earned your own gratitude. It's your gratitude. The universe is always ready to give you everything you could imagine that would bring you joy. God is always ready to give you everything you could imagine that would bring you joy. So whenever you receive something, it's not so much about thanking God, which is great. It's really about thanking you, because it's been trying to give it to you all the time. You just got to the point that you let yourself have some of the good stuff. So it's really your gratitude that you have earned. I'm just now letting some of the love into my life that's been promised to me by the universe and by Spirit. Spirit's been wanting to give me the love all the time. The universe has been wanting to give me the love all the time. God has been wanting to give me the love all the time. I was the one blocking it because of my misperceptions about myself. So me being willing to accept the love now, saying, okay, bring it on. I'm willing to have some of this good stuff. Then I need to be grateful to myself for finally letting myself have something cool. So it can be but your gratitude that you earn. How many times have you asked for something and desired something and it showed up? How many times have you asked for something and it showed up? You desired something and it showed up. Well, acknowledge that you are instrumental in it showing up. It showed up because you were instrumental in it showing up. So the truth is that that's a change of perception. That's the highest level of consciousness we can be on. That's a change of perception. I'm blessing myself. I'm acknowledging myself. I'm recognizing myself. I'm recognizing that I'm willing to accept and I'm willing to have. That's a change of perception. Although our ultimate goal is to move beyond perception to knowledge, we're going beyond. First we change our perception, then we go beyond perception to knowledge. Knowledge is beyond perception.